you okay?
I don't know.
Where did you see him?
When I got my first knockout.
Who did you knock out?
Some guy named Andy. I don't get scared very easily. And I don't believe in monsters and ghosts. But he was standing right there. Had to be 20 feet away from me. And then he was just gone.
Did Andy see him too?
No, you didn't see him. But I did.
Something I want to show you at the hotel. This is the guy you knocked out, right?
Yeah.
And now you have David from the bar.
Yeah, but how do you know that?
I played this game before, Michelle. About a year and a half ago in Indiana, in a town called Westphalia.
You've played before?
Yep.
Game number 4. That's listed on the website, I remember.
Yes. I was just like you. I found out about it early, read the blogs, got intrigued, hoped it would come anywhere near me so I could try to get in. I would have driven anywhere in Indiana, but I didn't need to because they chose a town very close to mine. And then we got lucky and got picked.
We?
Me and my fiance. Her name is Nancy. She's not only my fiance, she's my dearest friend. And now she's gone.
What do you mean gone?
They took her.
Who took her?
The people who run this game, the people I'm trying to find.
I don't understand, Scott. But you're starting to scare me.
Nancy and I both tried to join the game in Westphalia together, even though we knew it stated in the rules that no one in the game can know each other. For some reason, they let us both in. We thought we got lucky, that they somehow missed something in their research of Nancy and I. Either way, we had a distinct advantage over all the other players.
That wasn't the case.
We got pretty far. We found all the cash points, found the bank. Then there were 4 of us left, including Nancy and me. Neither of us had the other to knock out. I knew where my target was and I had a plan to get him. But something strange happened to Nancy.
She saw the blue guy.
Actually, no. Her target was some guy who always wore a trench coat and a hat. She tried multiple times to knock him out, but no matter how close she got to him, it would never work. His bracelet just wouldn't come off.
He was cheating?
We don't know. He must have been, but we never found out. He was outside of her farmhouse, watching her at different times. Every time she tried to approach him, he would disappear. So we came up with a plan. The trenchcoat guy was following her everywhere. We set a trap for him. hoping he would follow Nancy to one of the geocache points near the railroad track. Nancy and I were the only ones who had found this particular cache. We thought if we led him to the key he didn't have yet, we could get close to him. Nancy was going to appear distraught, try and lure him in close enough, and then I would jump out and confront him face to face, find out why he was cheating. I hid in the forest right by the cache point and waited for Nancy to come.
But she never did.
No, she did. We agreed to go there separately. She showed up, but something was wrong. Her bracelet was off. The guy who ended up winning the game had knocked her out. I saw her for about 10 seconds by the track. Then I saw the trenchcoat guy right behind her as well. I was about to intervene, and then I got knocked out, both figuratively and literally. The next thing I knew, I woke up by the tracks in a daze. My bracelet had fallen off next to me, and there I was, no sign of Nancy. She was gone.
Nancy! Nancy!
You never saw her again?
We checked everywhere, for weeks on end. Her parents and I went down every avenue, all her friends, her co-workers, everything. There was nothing. The police couldn't find anything either. They were just baffled and very skeptical of my story. I told them about the game, but at the time they couldn't even find the guys who put it together. No evidence of foul play. The only things missing were Nancy and her backpack with all the game pieces she had with her.
I'm sorry, Scott.
When the game went clear across the country to California for the one after Indiana, I convinced the cops to try and track down the game makers again. They told me they talked to one of them and that after the discussion, they were not considered as possibly being involved in Nancy's disappearance. The cops wouldn't even let me contact them. This was April or May of last year.
You've been looking for her ever since?
I hired 2 different PIs to find her, and them. There's just no trace of anything or anybody. Even when a game is being run, they're uncatchable. They're always 10 steps ahead.
If there were only 4 of you left in that game, then from what you told me, the guy in the trench coat had to have you as his next knockout.
You're correct.
Then why was he following her and not you?
I don't know why, but I do know something else. It's taken some time, but I've spoken to nearly every one of these people who won the game. Most were difficult to track down, but the ones I was able to talk to all said the same thing. They all got paid the morning after they won by receiving a black envelope on their doorstep. They got paid in cash. Inside the envelope with the money is a slip of paper that always says the same 3 words on it. You just missed. And they also all share one common startling coincidence of a story. The last person they eliminate to win the game is a man wearing a fedora with turquoise trim and a trench coat. He always gives himself up to the eventual winner, and then he says 2 words before he disappears. Best wishes. And he's in our game as well.
That's why you don't care about the money.
I want Nancy back.
How long have you been trying to get back in the game?
Everyone since California.
How'd you finally get in this one?
Fake identity. I used a cousin who lives near Palatine for a mailbox. For all they know, it's him who's playing and not me.
They have his picture instead of yours?
Yeah. And I've got one better than that. My cousin is staying in one of the rooms in this motel for the full 2 weeks of the game, making himself seen before and after he goes to work. So they're watching him, not me.
Then whoever has you as their mark is chasing the ghost. And that's why you aren't worried about getting knocked out.
That's why I can operate under the radar and find that son of a bitch in the trench coat and the hat. He's the key. He works for the Game Masters.
Scott.
He can be gotten to like anybody else.
Scott, listen.
This is not...
They know. They know. They must know what you're doing. They're too meticulous and precise to not know.
No way. They don't.
They know what you're doing and what you're looking for. They let you in this game. They're going to be ready for you.
They won't be ready for what I got.
They will. You need to go to the police. Right now.
No. This is when they disappear and then I never find her. I've gotten this far in and I feel this is my best chance to find them. To find Nancy. I have to find her.
They know what you're doing.
Then what should I do? Just give up on Nancy? Just let her go? What would you do? I'm gonna find her. I'm gonna find out what these guys are doing and I'm gonna shut them down.
I'm not sure I want to play this game anymore. Not after this. Not after hearing this, and not after what happened at the bar today.
Listen to me. What you saw is no monster, no ghost. It's caused by a hallucinogen called ayahuasca. They use a designer version of it in the game, although I'm not sure for what or why. We saw the same blue ghost in our game in Westphalia. I had my blood tested after Nancy disappeared.
What?
They must be using it to keep everyone in line. It's powerful stuff, especially if we're all seeing the same thing.
Are you kidding me? How the fuck are they getting drugs into me?
Lots of ways. Food, drinks, who knows? But if they're trying to freak you out, your best way to beat them is to ignore it. The drug leaves your system eventually. It's harmless, it can't hurt you.
Who the fuck are these people? I thought I was braver than I am. But I'm not.
You're already that brave. For your father. You don't have to second guess yourself.
I don't.
And you chose to trust me. A complete stranger. I can't think of anything braver than doing that. You do trust me now, don't you? I need your help. I'll help you win that money. I just want Nancy back. Please, Michelle. Nancy always used to say, all things return to zero. It was her way of saying that those people in the world that might have something coming to them always end up getting it if they wait long enough. Both good and bad. We can take these guys down.
What do we do?
We need to hope for some rain, and then when it comes, whittle down the circle as quickly as possible.
They're calling for 2 full days of it starting late next week.
There are 9 people left. There's you and I, of course. There's Eamon from the pub, as well as David, who it appears has teamed up with another guy who was at the bar with him. Don't know his name. Early 30s, bald guy.
I think I know who you mean. I saw him at the bike tunnel cache.
Then there's Karen, the waitress from Lamplighters. She came to me all freaked out about seeing the blue guy. Said she was gonna quit and that she'd give me all her stuff.
You can't take it from her. You'd be disqualified.
I'm not going to. We need to find out who has her and push them along to get her out.
That makes 6. Who are the last 3?
If my theory is correct, then the guy in the trench coat and hat is one of them. He's the mole. One of the other 2 is the guy in the silver car because he's my mark. The last one, then...
Is the girl we saw at the waterfall.
Yes, we have to find her. Something tells me she's further along than we think.
How does Lamplighters fit in with all this?
Maybe by coincidence, but more than likely with a little help from the game creators, making a hub where there will be conflict.
A little over a week left. That's not much time.
Right. We need to find out who has the guy in the trench coat. We need to get to them, sooner rather than later.
Is it a rebus of some sort?
Possibly, but I don't see in what way.
What about in the mirror?
That's not it. The image stays the same. It's the only one I haven't solved, and I feel like I'm not even close.
Occam's razor then, Doctor. Simplicity, my dear. Start with the easiest answer before going complex. What do you see?
A tree with a big M.
Simple answer.
M in a tree.
Go from there.
Simple then. Tree plus M. Unscrambles to meter.
What do you see?
1 week. Daisy. Daisy. Daisy Woods.
Okay, that was the opposite of simple. How did you do that?
I don't know. It happens a lot.
Someone has found a hard key.
Who?
One of the girls, Michaela.
We have a Zephyr.